Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to the YWCA Hartford Region. My name is Adrienne Cochran. I'm the Chief Executive Officer, and on behalf of my board chair, Andrea Barton-Reeves, staff, we welcome you here today. We're pleased that Governor Ned Lamont, Hartford Mayor Luke Bronin, Department of Revenue Services Commissioner Mark Boughton, State Senator Saud Anwar, Tanya Barrett, Senior Vice President of 211 Connecticut's Health and Human Services, a division of United Way of Connecticut, State Representative Sean Scanlon Guilford, Chair of the Finance Committee, and State Senator John Fanfara have all joined us today. I apologize in advance if I've missed any other dignitaries in the room. We are delighted that Governor Lamont has chosen to come here today to talk about the importance of the child tax credit. And I know it's not lost on him that YWCA Hartford Region has a more than 150-year history in this community, 70 of which we have offered quality and affordable child care. One of the most important things about this child tax credit is what it is going to do for women and families, and particularly those women and families with whom we work, women in our programs like YW Career Women, who need this important incentive to help them be able to complete their education, find opportunities where they make a living wage, and they can still know that their children are getting quality care. So without any further delay, again, I welcome you on behalf of all of us, and it is my pleasure to introduce Hartford Mayor Luke Bronin. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much, Adrienne, and thank you to you and the entire YWCA team for everything that you do for our community, for our region, for women, for mothers, to create opportunity, to eliminate barriers. The work you do here is extraordinary, and thank you also for hosting. Governor, thanks for holding this event in Hartford. We're honored to host this announcement of a really important tax relief measure for residents of the state of Connecticut. And I just want to say a few things. We saw over this past year the power of the child tax credit that was passed on the federal level. We saw how many tens of thousands of kids were lifted up out of poverty, how many families, including middle-class families, were able to just make ends meet a little bit better because of that tax credit. Our federal delegation is still fighting hard to make that tax credit permanent, but I'm really grateful that through your leadership, Governor, and through your leadership, Representative Scanlon, and through leadership of Senator Fanfara, who isn't here because he never goes to press conferences, but he does great work, and Senator Anwar and the entire legislature, that Connecticut didn't wait. Connecticut took action to deliver relief now. And that means that about 30,000 kids in the city that I lead are going to be getting that relief. It means that hundreds of thousands of kids around the state will get that relief, and that's life-changing. You know, yesterday was talking with Connecticut Food Share and talking about the fact that throughout this region, 1 in 7 kids faces food insecurity and hunger. Think about that in our state. It's true everywhere around the country, but think about that. 1 in 7 kids facing food insecurity and hunger. This child tax credit, $250 per child, can make a huge difference for families facing that kind of a challenge. But this is not just a relief targeted at those most in need. This is a broad-based middle-class tax cut. $150 million worth of tax relief going out the door right now to Connecticut families across the state. And that's just one of the many tax cuts that were included in this budget. But I think it's important to say that those who are out there saying that there wasn't real tax relief being delivered, they're wrong, and this is Exhibit A. $150 million going to almost every family with kids around this region and tens of thousands of families around this state. Real tax relief delivered now at a moment when so many families need that help. So, Governor, thank you. Again, I want to give a shout out to Representative Scanlon, who I know, put a lot of personal work into this and fought so hard to make this happen, and again to my state senator, John Fonfara. But without further ado, and again with enormous gratitude to everybody who made this happen, I'd like to turn this over to the Commissioner of Revenue Services, dual-hatted as the infrastructures are, but I think here in the first capacity today, Commissioner Mark Boughton, as he walks up, a former mayor who knows personally from his experience how much this is going to matter to families in every town in this state. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here with Governor Lamont and Representative Scanlon and our other dignitaries. I do want to recognize, Governor, we gave you a $4.2 billion surplus. You did a good job. I'm already collecting for next year for these guys. But it doesn't happen in a vacuum, right? So we have some great people that are here, John Biello and Lou Bakari from Department of Revenue Services, that work so hard every day on behalf of our taxpayers. So thank you, gentlemen, for helping us provide the resources for this tax credit. And Tracy, I want to thank you for what you do for those children. You are doing God's work. You are truly an angel among us. God bless you for everything that you do. Look, we're sending out postcards today, right, Sean? To notify parents out there that they are eligible for this tax credit. Over 300,000 postcards are in the mail this afternoon. You could qualify for up to $750 for your child tax credit, about $250 per child. In addition to that, Sean and his team was smart enough to put it on a sliding scale. So even if you're up a little bit over, if you're just $1 over, you're still going to get something. So please go online, go to ct.gov/DRS, look for that link, and get your application in. Checks hopefully will be rolling out later in the summer. It's a big deal, and certainly it's something that will help people. This morning when I filled up my tank of gas, I think I paid $57 for a Kia. So this money really will be well received and will make a difference in putting food on the table for our families. So Governor Lamont, I want to thank you for everything that you've done for our families and our children. Sean Scanlon, this guy was absolutely dogmatic about getting this thing done. He was not going to be moved from it, and we worked together, all of us as a team, to make it happen, and Senator Anwar as well. Thank you so much for everything you've done. God bless you. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you, Governor Lamont. Thank you, State Legislature, and thank you, Connecticut Local United Ways, for your advocacy for over 350,000 families and 650,000 children in Connecticut who will benefit from this new child tax credit. Those qualifying families include families of color, families that are female-headed households, and those families are the families that are disproportionately impacted and represented in the ALICE population. If you don't know ALICE, stands for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, and Employed. And what it really means is that despite working really hard and struggling, these families often find it hard to make ends meet and have to go without some basic necessities like food, shelter, transportation, and more. The United Way of Connecticut is pleased that this new child tax credit will directly address some of these equity issues. It will directly benefit about 57% of Black families, 63% of Latinx households, and 73% of female-headed households with children that live below the ALICE threshold. The new temporary child tax credit of $250 per child, up to $750 per household of 3, will help offset the high cost of raising kids in Connecticut. And, you know, $250, that's about half of a month's food budget for an Alice family. You qualify if you're a single tax filer with children with income less than $100,000, or a couple filing jointly with children with income less than $200,000. This is great news, but only if you file your 2021 taxes. So some of you are thinking, I didn't do that. You can still do it. Even though the traditional timeline for filing taxes has passed, you can still claim thousands of dollars in tax credits. The state is going to use the 2021 tax filings to deliver the payments to qualifying families. And if you need help filing, please go to uwc.211ct.org/tax help or call 211 to get information about volunteer income tax assistance programs administered by nonprofits and supported by Connecticut United Ways to receive free tax preparation services from certified, credible professionals. There is no challenge more pressing in our state to address than supporting families who struggle every day to make ends meet. Many thanks again to Governor Lamont, Representative Scanlon, Senator Anwar, and Representative Fanfara, and the Connecticut legislature for your support. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Tracy Scott, and I would like to thank you guys, everyone, for inviting me. I live in Windsor, Connecticut, and I am married to that wonderful guy sitting over there, Herta Scott. And I am a stay-at-home grandmother. We are raising 4 of our grandchildren right now. And of course, you know that raising children is not easy. And financially, it can be difficult at times. And my husband recently retired, so there was a decrease in our income. And the ages of our children, we have 3 teenagers in the home, and they are 14, 15, and 17. And then we have a 7-year-old. And not to mention, we have a great-grandson who is a 1.5 years. He's staying with us right now while his parents get things situated with their living arrangements. So we have a full house. And I just want to say that we took our grandchildren in because we did not want them to end up, you know, in foster care. They're our family, we love them, and we wanted them to know who we are, and we wanted to help, you know, keep them, you know, communicating with us and the other side of their family, and so far we've been doing pretty good with that. Also, I would like to say that when we first got them, the 17-year-old was only 2 months. And then by the time before she was even 3, we ended up with the other 2, and the ages was 1, 2, and 3 when we got them. So we've been doing this for some time, and like I said, you know, raising children is not always easy, financially especially. And life has been, you know, it's been a little hard. You know, with inflation and everything, bills going up, cost of, you know, increase in food. And our children love to eat. And they pay attention to what we buy. We buy a box of cereals, and the price has gone up, and the cereal is half a box, and they're like, Nana, look at this box of cereal. It's not even a full box. I said, I know, baby, you know. So we got to buy double to make sure we have enough for them, you know, to eat and everything. And you know, they need clothes, they need shoes and so forth, you know, so I just want to say that it hasn't been easy. Last year, my entire household caught COVID. So we couldn't go out to go shopping. We had to, you know, pay people to bring us food, and even to order food, you have to pay for that to be delivered to your home and everything. So it's just, you know, last year, our taxes with our tax credit, it was $4,500. And it really helped us to meet, you know, our grandchildren's needs. But now that's gone. So the new Connecticut child tax credit will definitely help, you know, with the gap. And we definitely qualify for $750 of that, because we have 4 of the grandchildren, but 3 of them, you know, is up to 3 children. And I just want to say that, Governor Lamont, I really want to thank you. I hear how you really pushed for this to go through. And that means a lot to me, and I'm sure it means a lot to a lot of parents, you know, families who raising children and everything. And I also would like to thank the other state legislators for all that you've done and all that you are doing. We really appreciate it, my husband and I can speak for the both of us. And like I said, I just want to really thank you guys for inviting me. It has been a pleasure to stand here before you this morning.
I think you just heard what this is all about. And it's my honor, Tracy, to be one of the people that helped make this happen alongside the governor. And for me, I started fighting for this 2 years ago because I understand why this was so important. I was raised by a single mom in Guilford, somebody who worked paycheck to paycheck, sat around that kitchen table every night trying to figure out how she was going to make it work. And for people like that, people like my mom, people like Tracy, people all across the state of Connecticut, they now are going to, this summer, get a check in the mail to help them pay for the costs that have been going up and up and up. And those costs are not going up because of anything that we are doing here in Connecticut. Our constituents, our government didn't start COVID, we didn't start the supply chain crisis, we certainly didn't start inflation. But what we did in this budget and what we're doing with the child tax rebate is to say, we hear you, we want to help you, and we are helping. And that is something that each and every one of us should be proud of in Connecticut, that we passed a budget that met the moment to meet the needs of the people of Connecticut. To say to them, we understand the costs are rising, and we're doing something about it to help you and your family out. This $250 or $750, depending on how many children you have, is an extra trip to the gas station. It's an extra trip to the grocery store. It's the oil bill that is going up and up and up for those that heat their house with hot water. This is something that is a lifeline for people, for their ability to pay their bills and deal with the costs that are rising. And Connecticut is one of the few states in the nation that can say very proudly, as far as I'm concerned, that we understand how expensive it is to raise children now, and this is a pro-family state that is going to be there for the middle class and the working class families of Connecticut and their children. The child tax credit that Rosa DeLauro, our amazing congresswoman, passed last year and the president passed, literally reduced child poverty in this country by 25% in 3 months. Think about that. That's incredible. And I think what we're doing here by investing in children, investing in families, not only shows them that we care, but shows them that Connecticut is a state that is pro-family and trying to do everything we can to make it more affordable for the families to stay here and do what they have to do here. And I couldn't be more proud to be a part of that, to be with this great group today. Mark Boughton and his team, the answer to every time I asked to do something was, we will figure it out. And the same was true of the governor. This is a logistically challenging thing to do, and we're here today to remind parents that on June 1st, they have to go to ct.gov/DRS. There's a huge yellow bar at the top of that website where you have to click on that and apply. The commissioner mentioned we sent out 300,000 postcards, but that's only the people that we have on file because of a previous tax year. There's a lot of other people who have had kids since then. We want to make sure that every parent in Connecticut knows about the child tax rebate. You You have between June 1st and July 31st to sign up for this, and the checks will come out in the mail later on this summer. To the governor, thank you for your partnership on this. I think we've done something that we should really be proud of here in Connecticut, and it was because of your support that this got done. So thank you very much, and without further ado, the Governor of the State of Connecticut, Ned Lamont.
Well, thank you, Sean. Tracy, 3 teenagers at home? You may be retired a little too early. You made this fight a little more peaceful. No, we need you there. And you said that, thank you, we pushed hard for the child tax rebate, and I got to tell you that Sean Scanlon was pushing me every day. Mark Boughton said he was dogmatic. He was a dog with a bone. And I think you heard from a personal story how important this was for him. And it shows you that you could make an incredible difference as a state's representative, and with John Fanfara and Sound making a difference in what we do. You heard loud and clear what a difference this makes for families that are struggling, filling up their gas tank, struggling to take care of kids, struggling to keep going through a really tough time. And this extra $250, $750 available this summer, but you got to sign up. I hope you heard the message loud and clear of making a difference for people. And I heard that story. You hear that on 211 every day. And I'd like to give you just one other perspective, which Sean mentioned. I'm going to do everything I can to make Connecticut the most family-friendly state in the country. For a lot of reasons. Number one, for the kids. And we start with prenatal support for moms and postnatal support. We did that in this legislative session this time around. We put in place probably the most robust paid family and medical leave program in the country. Thanks to Andrea Barton-Reeves over there, who got it done on time and under budget. And yeah, I did my hips, she's done her knees. We'll go dancing sometime soon, Andrea. We did the biggest expansion of daycare and childcare in the history of the state, doing everything I can to make it easier for moms and dads to be able to balance family and make sure their kids are well taken care of and be able to get back to work. And the child tax credit on top of that is one more way to say Connecticut values families. We understand what it is in this day and age to raise a family and make sure those kids get the very best head start in life. And I'll tell you just what this means to me, not only as a dad, but also as a champion for the state. And when businesses are saying, what about Connecticut? What are the things that distinguish Connecticut? I'm proud to say we're the most family-friendly state in the country. I'm proud to say if you come here, you locate your business here, or you expand your business here, this is how we take care of your family. This is how we make sure that moms and dads, a little easier for them to get back to work. And this is how you can be very confident that your baby, your child, your teenager is getting the very best start in life. That means everything from daycare to keeping our schools open during the pandemic, to an extra $200, $300, $750 available to you this summer. Make life a little bit easier and to say we love our families. Thanks, everybody. Dre, you want to hobble up here? Bring this to you.
So good morning, everyone. I'm Andrea Barton-Reeves. I am the CEO of the Connecticut Paid Family and Medical Leave Insurance Authority, but I'm actually here today in my capacity as the board chair for the YWCA Hartford region. I'm absolutely delighted to be involved with this organization as the leader of its board, but I'm particularly proud of the work that we do here at the YW. We do provide quality childcare, not just daycare, but an opportunity for children to get the essential background and support that they need so they can be successful when they start school. We support families in at least 7 different towns, and we also support young women and girls so that they can meet their potential. This tax credit is going to be a game changer for all of the families that we support. We hear their stories, we understand their needs, And we're particularly proud that the governor has come here today to allow us the opportunity to let you know that family by family, child by child, the difference that this will make. We're excited to, and we will do our part, Governor, to let our families know how they can avail themselves of the tax credit. And we know that all the families that we support, they will use it and they will need it. So this is why it's exciting that we're able to be in partnership with you today so that we can share this news far and wide, because it really will make such a huge difference. So thank you for the opportunity and thank you for being here.
Someone give us an idea of how many families in Connecticut are actually eligible for this tax credit?
My understanding from an ITEP study, ITEP, that's the federal study that was done that Rosa DeLauro's office provided to me, it's 600,000 children, and between 6 and 650,000 children and 300,000 families.
And what other outreach is sort of planned? You're mailing out 300,000 postcards to people you identify. What else?
So obviously there's the postcards. The Lieutenant Governor and I are on a 7-city tour starting this week and next week, with going to every different part of the state with some of our legislative colleagues to raise awareness from this in different parts of the state. Obviously you heard from people like United Way and the YWCA, different providers that are going to be sending this back in the kids' backpacks to tell their parents that they have to sign up for this between June 1st and July 31st. Obviously we're going to be doing everything we can during that 2-month window to raise awareness about this and make sure people know about it.
The mayor said this was Exhibit A, and this is a question for you, and Governor Sean, this is Exhibit A that people who say that you're not delivering real tax relief and sustainable and meaningful tax relief. But this is also something that expires after 1 year. It represents about $125,000 of the $600 million tax cut. What do you say to that?
I would say to them that this year we passed a budget adjustment, not a budget. And the next legislature that gets elected this November and the governor will work together to pass a budget. And at the time, they will determine whether or not this continues. I certainly personally hope that it does, but I won't be in the legislature at that point. It's up to them to determine that. What I can tell you is that right now, for a single mom who gets the check in the mail for $750, who's trying to figure this out, it is immediate tax relief that she will feel immediately. And I think the notion that this is not a real tax cut or that there's not a real tax cut budget is disregarding to the stories that you heard today from people who are literally sitting up every night trying to figure it out, and this is a big help to them.
Governor, what do you say? Your presumptive opponent in the upcoming said that half of your tax relief is temporary. Obviously, this is a big portion of it. Another big portion, of course, is the gas tax reduction, which applies to December 1st.
Well, let's start with the fact that we are the 3rd state in the country to offer a significant gas tax reduction to people, something they've been able to enjoy for the last couple of months going through December 1. In addition, free bus service for everybody, so you don't have to get in the car, you don't have to pay gasoline fees, what a difference that makes. Mark Batten will tell you what a difference it is in terms of property tax and the car. What we're able to reduce that's going to be real money in people's pockets for the near term. Child tax rebate is important. We didn't want to wait for everybody to file returns and all that. This is money that's available to you sometime, I hope, later this summer. Don't you think, Mark? It'll be real, and it'll be as close to immediate as we can. Let's see what the environment looks like a year from now, but this is an important program and something that would be a priority for me.
Representative Scanlon said he and Lieutenant Governor were going to be out promoting this. Obviously, you're here today doing it. What will you be doing in the next 2 months before this deadline approaches to come up?
I think doing just what I'm doing right here. It's not, we found out during COVID, it's not like you just simply make this available and everybody comes. You've got to go out and outreach. I love what Sean said about maybe putting something in the backpack of the kids before they're going back to school. You know about 2-on-1, making it easier for people to avail themselves of the resources they need. $250, $750 available to you. Midsummer, what a difference that could make, looking at the 8% inflation rate we're suffering right now. And by the way, it's not just Connecticut, it's not just America, it's all over Europe. This is a worldwide inflation rate we're dealing with.
So the postcards are going out to those who file their tax returns based on their income eligibility. Is that correct?
Mark can certainly come up and talk, but the postcards went out based on the 2020 tax year because that was the last tax year we had available. So if you filed your taxes in 2020 and you had a dependent on that tax, you'll get the postcard. The problem is that obviously people who have had kids since the 2020 tax year, and that's what the outreach is all about. So collectively, we're doing everything we can to try to raise awareness about this, but we're not just going to do one press conference and stop. The governor's going to be all over the state talking about this. I will be, all of these advocates will, and I'm confident that you will see tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people sign up for this and benefit from it by the end of the summer.
And all they have to do is go on this list.
All they have to do is go at ct.gov/DRS, click on that yellow box right at the top, and they can register. They have to put the children's social security numbers and information into that, and then they will get a check in the mail in a few weeks after that.
All right. Thanks, everybody.